Hello, and welcome back to Mr. Anderson Plays Detective Jake Hunter, Detective Story, Memories of the Past, Seaside City Conspiracy. To say the entire name is quite a mouthful. Anyway, we were chilling out, about to return to the hotel, and we heard a gunshot. Hmm, was that gunshot for me, or was it meant to scare me? Hmm. The crack of a gunshot shattered the Depono night. Every time he says Depono, I think of Legend of Zelda. The sound hit me like a punch to the stomach. The shots had come from the hotel. As I sprinted across the parking lot, frantic thoughts tumbled through my head. Had someone tried to bump me off, only to find Holloway, or worse, Yulia? Some goon up in the hotel had just emptied what sounded like a whole clip into something. I just hoped that something hadn't been a human body. If Yulia had been hurt... Yulia... Jake! Oh, well, there you go. She's not hurt. Yulia, are you alright? I'm fine. Yes, you are. Those gunshots came from Mr. Holloway's room. Shit. So they'd been after Holloway, but why? I told Julia to call the cops and ran toward Holloway's room. If she hadn't called the cops already, she's kind of dumb. Someone must have called the cops already. This is why we can't have nice things. That guy runs like an Oompa Loompa. Who the hell? For a moment I hesitated. Should I go after the man with the bean shooter, or check to see if Mr. Holloway had given some large caliber lead poisoning? Holloway, you alright? Holloway! The goon's hand cannon had punched a number of holes straight through Holloway's door. Little beams of light spilled out of each hole, catching on the gunpowder still hanging in the air. Mr. Holloway! Damn, Holloway, if you're in there, say something. Sorry, I had a cough. Is that you, Mr. Hunter? I heard him move inside the room and the shadow passed across the holes in the door. Mr. Hunter, I'm glad to see you. Are you okay? How are you feeling, Holloway? Doesn't look like he hit you. Yes, it looks like I'm alright. Holloway's eyes flickered up to my face, and down through the floor. I got the feeling he couldn't bring himself to look me in the eye. Oh, Eva, where have you gone to? I've been shot at before. It wasn't an experience I hope to repeat, but Holloway seemed to have already forgotten it. All he could think about was Eva. The gunman. Why did this guy try and off you? I don't know. They just fired through the door and then took off. So you never saw them? That's a pretty fucked up knock-knock joke. No. I was too scared to do much of anything except hide. Right. Eva, please come back soon. Maybe that was Eva trying to kill him because he's just so pathetic. And there he went again. His devotion was sweet and all, but it made it hard to get any real information out of the guy. Still, why had he been attacked? I was the one who'd been warned. We just finished talking when I heard footsteps down the hall. It sounded like several different people, and they were heading straight for Holloway's room. Get down, Holloway. I think the goon's back to finish the job. I don't think it's the goon. I threw Mr. Holloway and myself into the corner in a desperate attempt to gain some cover before the assassin returned. I was trying to figure out how I disarmed the punk with the gun when I heard a voice I wasn't expecting. Sir, are you alright? I brought help. Please open the door. Great to hear your voice again, babe. I threw open the door and a team of policemen spilled out into the room, barking orders to one another. Well, sir, I'm glad to see you've none the worse for wear. As soon as they secured the room, some of the cops sat down in a chair and started asking him some questions. It wasn't long before a forensics team showed up and started going over the place with flashlights and cameras. Was he streaming? He might have been swatted. Yuli and I were pushed to the side and all but ignored, which was fine by me. I had better things to do than answer questions from cops. Yeah, I mean, you were just there to help him out. Though you did see the gunman run. Julia, how are you feeling, sir? No serious injuries, I trust. Never felt better, sweetheart. Honestly, sir, someday you are going to get yourself shot, and then who's going to sign my paychecks? Sweetheart, you've been signing your own paychecks for months. As long as you don't forget how to forge my signature, I think you'll be fine. You know how to check on Holloway. I had to check on Holloway. The man's a client, and that means they got certain responsibilities. Because he's the man that signs my checks, so I can sign your checks for you. Of course, I know that, sir. Just please don't take any chances, okay? Could it be deeper? Maybe she's more concerned about me than anything else. Oh, okay. Alright. Whatever. We've seen this already. Let's return. Lobby. After a few minutes of standing around awkwardly, I realized that I wasn't helping anything by staying in Holloway's room. Come on, babe. I don't think they need us hanging around here. Of course. I wonder how Julia really feels about him calling her babe constantly. What is this, like Harvey Weinstein simulator? Julia and I made our way through the cops, filling the room, and out in the hallway. It was late, but there were still a few people moving around. Oh, sorry. My alarm's going off. I woke up before my alarm went off, actually. It was late, but there's still a few people moving around. Well, with the gunshots, I'm pretty sure that woke everybody the fuck up. There wasn't much going on, but there was no missing the tension in the air. Somebody firing off a gun in a hotel could do that. As Julia, myself, and our police escort arrived at the lobby, a man came running to us. Glad to see you're all right. Hey, Sharp, what brings you here? I was on my way home when I heard there was a 417 at your hotel. Thought I'd stop by and make sure you were still breathing. King have my head if something happened to you in my city. Well, you're in luck then. It's looking like they weren't after me. My client, Holloway, had got his room all shut up, but they left me alone. What? Are you thinking maybe the call was for this Holloway, not you? Yeah, well, I'm certainly considering that possibility. I was hoping maybe your boys could keep an eye on Holloway, just in case. Well, sure that's not someone's... Sure, now that someone's been shot at. This is a police matter anyway. I'll see that the whole hotel is put under surveillance. But the two of you really ought to get some rest. You look like warmed over shit. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Sheriff. You're a real stand-up kind of guy. The man's got a point, babe. It's time you and I got a little shut-eye. Yes, I suppose it is. Honestly, though, I don't know if I can get to sleep. Our minds in the events of the night. Julie and I headed back to our rooms. The next day, it was going to be a rough one. My mind was going a mile a minute, but I needed to get some sleep if I wanted to have any chance of dealing with what was to come. The next day. I felt like I barely closed my eyes when I opened them to the sunlight streaming in through the window. I got dressed as fast as I could and headed for the lobby. Good morning, sir. Sleeping late as usual? Well, if I didn't get any sleep... Let's talk to you later. Last night. Look, things were kind of crazy last night. Are you okay? Did you get any sleep? Well, some. Yuli's a lot of things, but a good liar isn't one of them. For the moment I'd seen her that morning, I knew she couldn't have gotten more than an hour or two of sleep. Man, my throat. Gunman. I only caught a glimpse of the goon who plugged Holloway's door. He hoofed it out of there pretty quick. So I take it you have no idea who it was? Unfortunately, no, I don't. Just a peek at his face would have been something, but I agree. I'm just glad you weren't hurt, sir. Yeah, me too. She looks like she's just always in the grip of crying. Look, babe, we need to talk. Is this about the investigation? No, it's not. Yulia, I want you to go back to Hospicio. What? Why? Look, I've got things under control here. I don't really need your help. All I have had you do so far is look after a man who's been borderline catatonic for 2 days. I think you'd be a lot more help if you just head back to the office and get to work on the Doe's taxes. You're kidding. What did I want to talk about? I'm serious. Just kidding. Guess I can't put anything past you, can I? It's sweet of you to be worried about me, sir, but try not to insult my intelligence when you're trying to keep me safe. Come on, babe. These guys are packing, and from what we've seen, they aren't afraid to put someone in the ground. Holloway got lucky, but they might come after you next time, and you might not get so lucky. I don't think you get it, sir. It might not be on Mr. Holloway next time. It might be you. Hey, look, I realize you're just trying to look out for me, in your own macho, arrogant way. But I'm a part of the Hunter Detective Agency just like you. I know what the risks are, and I accept them. We both know you need my help, even if I haven't been able to do much so far. I'm not going anywhere, sir. But, I'll let her stay. Fine. Then, yeah, you win. You don't have to go back to the office. Thank you, sir. You had me worried there for a minute. I thought I was going to have to throw a little hissy fit to get my own way. But you're going to be with me 24/7. We aren't taking any chances. That means you're going to have to sleep in my bed tonight. You're going to have to go to the bathroom with me as well. Don't mind it if I look at you awkwardly as you sit down to go pee-pee. And lick my lips, because I'm a fucking weirdo like that. You think you're up to that? Of course, sir. I was in track in college. Alright, whatever. Let's get this show on the road. I guess we'll just have to solve this case before we're attacked again, right? An excellent plan, sir. Stop calling me sir. Call me babe. Alright, well, I guess, let's go to the consulate. Because I'm pretty sure he had something to do with it. I stepped out of the hotel onto the streets I was quickly becoming familiar with. Yulia kept pace with me as we headed towards the consulate. Cool as a cucumber. We arrived at the Baraka Consulate, workplace of the missing Eva Christina. Baraka isn't the only country to help to establish a consulate around here. There are several others all up and down the streets. Makes sense. This has got to be one of the nicest parts of Depono I've seen. Yes, it is. It has been for a long time. Depono is a large port city and even larger metropolitan area, so there's always been embassies and consulates here. That's so. In fact, I believe there's an old British embassy on that hill that looks over the harbor. What is that trying to tell me? Let's move inside. Let's say hello to Iris, that sharp bitch. I wasn't going to get anything done just standing outside looking at it. We headed for the entrance. I felt the familiar rush of cold air as we stepped through the door. You and I looked around. Sure enough, the lobby was just as I'd left it. Empty and cold, just like my ex. Let's see if Iris is here. Oh, yes, she is. Hello. Oh, you brought a friend. Oh, don't worry, babe. This is just my assistant, Yulia. I'm Yulia Marks. Pleasure to meet you. Hello. I'm Iris Hart, the consulate's receptionist. Please let me know if there's anything you need. That was, awkward. I was hoping I might get to talk to Busk. One moment, please. There was an edge to Iris's voice that I hadn't heard before. I watched as she picked up the phone and said something to the person on the other end. I'm sorry. The consul will be busy all day today. I bet he will. Dang. Huh? What's up? Oh, never mind. That bitch! That bitch! She always does that shit. Yuli and I might as well treat blood from a stone. We aren't going to find anything at the Consulate. Please wait. Huh? What is it, Mr. Hunter? Why are you doing this? Why are you working so hard to help a person you've never met? It's my job. I understand that, but is that it? Is Eva just another job for you? I get it. On the one hand, yeah, it's just a job. I gotta make ends meet, just like every other chump. And today, that means finding Eva. The deeper I get into this, the more I realize the poor kid's jumped into the middle of something that's way over her head. I can't just leave her there to drown, can I? But what do you intend to do once you find her? Eva's not rich, and this could be something dangerous. I'm not expecting boatloads of cash. Only what Holloway promised me, and I've looked danger in the face before and laughed. But you have a point. I don't know this kid. Never met her. I'm not even so sure why I'm so worked up about this myself. Oh well, I guess I might as well beat tracks back for Hospicio. Fuck that bitch. She's not worth it. And later on, some feminists will write stories about how women are strong and save themselves. Yeah, fuck this. I'm going back home. And that's how it should go. But this is how it really happened. I'll tell you what I do know. I know this girl means a whole hell of a lot to you and Holloway. Listening to the two of you talk about her, she must be something real special. So I guess that's your reason. If she means that much to you, she must be someone worth saving. Just want all of you to be happy again. Be happy again? I see. I'm sorry to have asked you such a strange question. Heck, kid, I got a lot of questions in this line of work. That one's not even close to strange. Well, if you remember anything, give me a call. You've got my number. Remember anything? Even something that might seem insignificant. Yuli and I excused yourselves and stepped out into the street. No sooner had the door shut behind us than Yuli began to speak. Sir, I think Iris knows something. No shit. I think you're right, babe. There was something she wasn't telling us. My guess is she didn't feel safe telling us at the Consulate. We'll just have to wait for her to contact us. I suppose we will, sir. She's not very talkative. Maybe she's just like scared, I don't know. Alright. Let's go elsewhere. Chinatown. As we neared the center of Chinatown, I began to notice a weird, oily smell. Yulia pointed out buildings from her childhood to me as we passed. I was surprised so many of them were still here. We made our way to Chinatown. This place feels like it hasn't changed since I lived in Depono. Of course, the buildings have become much larger and fancier, but the atmosphere hasn't changed one bit. It's a bit like Hospicio. Well, I suppose I see what you're getting at. After all, it's not the buildings that bring a city to life. It's the people. The buildings change, but the people don't. Let's talk to Yulia. You'd think a place like this would be too busy to let a guy think straight. But places like this are where inspirations happen and good ideas are born. Something about a crowded place like this helps me get my ducks in a row, I guess. What's the matter? You're mumbling. Oh, it's nothing. I didn't really think either of us wanted to continue that line of subject thought, so I changed the subject. You know, for a place called Chinatown, a whole lot of this stuff doesn't look like it comes from China. Yes, most of it isn't from the United States either. Must get a lot of international trade this close to the port. Fact is, Holloway's ship is one of those traders. Hey, wait a minute. Sir, what's the matter? There's something that's been on my mind since yesterday. What would that be? The chump you tried to do Holloway in at the hotel. Why'd you go after Holloway instead of you or me? I was sure that phone call was for me, but I guess we have to consider that they were really talking to Holloway. It's a good point, sir. I think maybe it's time we found out a little bit more about our Mr. Holloway. Are we certain that Mr. Holloway and Eva were seeing each other? Yeah, I've talked to a bunch of people who can confirm that. I guess the next step is to go to check out the ship. In that case, there's only one place to go. Right, you are, Dollface. The Port Authority. As we got closer to the pier, the smell of the ocean and the docks got stronger and stronger. At first I thought it was just Yulia, but it was the docks. It was still a pretty unpleasant smell to a city boy like me, but it didn't seem to bother Yulia. The scene at Monty's Pier was that of a ballet, hundreds of trucks moving with intricately choreographed precision. Mr. Holloway's ship is docked here, isn't it, sir? Yeah, should be a trader that put in the port about 5 days ago. I wonder which one of these it is. Well, let's look around. Actually, let's talk to Yulia. How are we going to find Mr. Holloway's ship? Well, sir, I was thinking maybe we should visit the Port Authority. As I recall, it's near the entrance to the harbor. Good plan. Let's move. Port Authority. I couldn't help but wonder if we'd find anything. This hadn't been exactly going well, and the itch in the back of my brain was telling me they weren't going to get any better anytime soon. This is the Port Authority building, sir. The docks aren't accessible to unauthorized personnel, so if you want to ask about the ship, this is the only place to do it. Then let's get to work. Alright, let's look around a little bit. Office. The Port Authority was just an office in a simple building. I noticed the receptionist glancing down his nose in our direction. What the fuck's wrong with him? Sort of looks like a... I don't know. Maybe we're like Innsmouth and they're gonna turn into fish people soon? He was the only person in the office, but the look on his face suggested he thought it should have stayed that way. I needed to give him a reason to talk to us before we got kicked out. Damn boomers. Man. Myself. Hey there, my name's Jake Hunter. I'm a private eye and I was hoping you might be able to help me out. You see, I was hoping to get a little bit of information on one of your ships docked in your harbor here. Private eye, huh? So you're a detective? Interesting. He hadn't yelled at me or brandished a gun, so I felt we were off on the right foot. Let's convince him. Look, I know you just can't give out sensitive information to every Tom, Dick, or Harry that walks through your door. You've got an important job to do here, and you care about what you're doing. You care about doing it right. I respect that. But this is a matter of life or death. I need your help. Life or death? I can't go into details, but I can tell you that the information I need could be the difference between happily ever after and, well... I need to know about the ship a man named Harry Holloway was on. Very dramatic. I could see the cogs turning in his dim, tiny mind. His tiny, bovine mind. Finally, he made a decision and started typing something into his computer. Holloway's ship. Now about this Harry Holloway. I looked him up. It says he got off a ship called the Las Carpos. 5 days ago. Sounds like a drug dealer. What I wanted to talk about. Ship's origin. The Las Carpos. Where's the Las Carpos from? Let's see. Looks like... Baraka. You sure about that? Sure, I'm sure. Looks like she hasn't been back to her home port in a while. You said that the Las Carpos hasn't been back to its home port. Where has it been? Looks like up until a few years ago, it hadn't been going back and forth between this port and its home port, but lately, it's been going back and forth between here and China. China? Yeah. Hey, this is interesting. Interesting? What is it? The lost carpos isn't privately owned. It's registered to the Baroccan government. Now don't that sound a little fishy to you? Yes it does. Thanks, you're a real lifesaver, pal. I thanked him again and turned to Yulia. Sir, this is big, babe. Bigger than I thought. That's not what I usually hear from women, but I'll take it. I don't know what it is just yet, but if that ship belongs to the Baroccan government, it's looking more and more like Eva's become entangled in something much larger than herself or Mr. Holloway. Where should we go next, sir? The only place I want to go at a time like this. The bar. China? Smuggling? They're probably smuggling people. The way to find Fjord was through one of Depono's older districts, and every so often Yulia would stop to look at one of the buildings. Whether from simple nostalgia or something else, she wouldn't say. But she'd only stop for a moment, then move on. It looked like the bar Fjord had just opened for the evening. I wonder if the one chick's gonna be in there. They hit on me awkwardly. Alright, let's move inside. Gentleman that I am, I opened the door for Yulia and gestured that she go through ahead of me. Yulia paused and looked up at my face for a brief moment before giving me a small smile, stepping into the door. You just can't get much love from Yulia. I followed Yulia into the bar. The light was dim, but pleasant. Not at all the sort of dive I usually found myself in. What did I want to do? Let's inspect and see who's around. Just like before, there weren't many customers. Then again, I did keep visiting in the middle of the day. Pietro and a middle-aged woman were both there. I was starting to wonder if she'd ever left. Maybe she can translate for me. Oh, maybe Yulia can translate this guy's PlayStation voice. Now that I had Yulia with me to translate, I was finally going to get my chance to ask Pietro a few questions. Eva, excuse me, have you seen this woman before? I pulled out the picture of Eva Holloway had given me. I think he said, of course I've seen her. This is Eva. She comes here often with her boyfriend, Mr. Holloway. He said that all in just a few button presses. I guess she's a regular here. When? When was the last time you saw Eva? Square, division, money. Square divides money for PlayStation VR games. I don't know. That Russians been smuggling bootleg PlayStation games, VR games, of all 5 days ago, he says. She was here with Mr. Holloway. Attitude. What were Eva and Mr. Holloway like that day? Sprouty star. She was a sprouty star. 3 dots. She went to Target and she bought a diamond that looked like a snowflake. That's what he said, guys. I think that's pretty on point. They looked like they were having fun, but at times they seemed like they were talking about something serious. He says they looked like they were discussing a mutual problem. Were they talking about breaking up or something like that? Pound that vagina after they stapled a percentage of a squiggly to her hole. He says he doesn't think so. Although she said this is for your sake several times in Baroccan. Okay, so they weren't talking about having sex. It sounds like their discussion was rather heated. Relationship. How is their relationship going lately? Reverse N triangle, diamond. Hammered that mouth. Target booty. So he was aiming for her mouth, but he hit her booty. No, he was aiming for her booty, but he hit her mouth. He says that they were both in love with each other. Alright, yeah, I was right. Eva especially was deeply in love with Mr. Holloway. When he was out of a job, she worked day and night to help him get another one, and eventually found him the job he has now. Anything else? Can you think of anything else that might be helpful? Yeah, I'm at lost here. It seems that Eva had been worried about something lately. He says she kept saying, "It's my fault," in Baraka. La vagina hole butt plug. She lost her butt plug in her, hole. What did he just say? I'm not really sure. He's telling us to drink some aquavit. Is that some kind of sort of alcoholic beverage? Alright, more PlayStation. Sorry friend, but we don't have any time for that right now. Well, it looks like we can leave. Thanks, Pietro. Yo and I were all on our way out of the bar when I heard Marcy start calling to me from my jacket pocket. Sir, you've got a call. Thanks, doll. I hadn't figured that out. I wonder who it is. I dug Marcy out of my pocket and looked at the caller ID. A payphone. Is it King? Hunter. Hello, Mr. Hunter? Hey, that you, Holloway? Have you found Eva yet? No, no luck yet. I see. There's something wrong. If you find Eva, you have to take her to Sue. Sue? What the hell are you talking about, kid? Please, let me know if you see a Radio Shack. Before I could ask Holloway what the hell he was on about, I heard a click, and the line went dead. He'd hung up. What was the matter, sir? I just got a mighty strange call from Holloway. He said that if I find Eva, I need to take her to Sue. Sue? Is that someone's name? Could be a supermarket for all I know, but a name does seem the most likely. Can't say I've run into it before though. Man, it's like Metal Gear Solid when you're trying to do something that people keep calling you on the fucking codec. Another phone call. Holloway? I've got some questions. This isn't Mr. Holloway, Mr. Hunter. This is Sharp. Oh, what's going on, Sharp? What's the matter? I wanted to ask you a few questions about Harry Holloway. He just disappeared from his hotel room. What? Do you have any idea where he might have gone? Typo. Do you have any idea where he might have gone? This game does have quite a lot of typos, I've noticed. I know it's like a very large visual novel, but you would think that one of the things they would get right would be the writing, especially since there's not much going on the screen besides that. And this does happen quite often, even in the newer games like Ghost of Dusk. Yeah, I've noticed typos too. Well, he called me just now from a payphone. Didn't say where he was. No hunches either? No. Shit. What's going on here? Did something happen, Holloway? I need to talk to you about that. Think you could drop by the station? I can't talk about this over the phone. Sure thing, I'll be right over. With that, Sharp hung up, and they stood there for a moment, staring at Marcy's black screen. What on earth is going on here, sir? I don't have the first goddamn idea, sweetheart. But I've got a feeling that this shit is about to hit the fan. We better get this mess figured out before it does, or it's gonna get stinky. I think it's time we headed over to the Initium Street Police Station. Alright, let's move. Neither Yulia nor I had much to say as we walked. I pulled out a cigarette and tried to think. I pushed myself past a pair of kids in handcuffs and through the door of the station. Sharp was waiting in the lobby, a cigarette clamped between his teeth. Even in the crowded lobby, there was space around him. No one wanted to get close. It looked like he'd been waiting for a while. About time. I've been waiting. All we've been walking. So what's up, dude? New incident? What's going on? Holloway's my client. If something's happened, I gotta take the appropriate steps. There's an arrest warrant out for Mr. Holloway, Harry Holloway. What? He's wanted for illegal possession of a firearm.
Hey, in America, that's... I mean, you can go up to Camden and get, a gun for a pair of socks, probably.
A gun? Why the hell did Holloway have a gun? That's what I'd like to know. There were 5 handguns in his travel bag. Guns? What kind of handguns were they? Military issue. That strange broad King sent over from his crime lab said it was a Chinese knockoff of some Russian pistol. The Chinese sell it as the Tokarev Model 213. Tokarev, huh? I have to say, though, I'm not sure what he was planning to do with them. They're useless the way they are. Oh, the one chick's here. Sam. Sam's here. Useless? What do you mean they're useless? The barrels have been removed from all the guns. What? It's still legal to have them, even if they don't work. Crime lab woman. You said King sent someone over? Yeah, she's an energetic little thing. You can talk to her later if you want. You mean Sam? Oh man, my harem is growing once more. Crime lab inf? Is Sam done in the crime lab? I was hoping I could talk to her before she runs back to Hospicio. They've gone over the crime scene, but they haven't finished processing all the evidence. She should still be around here somewhere. As I worked my way through the crowd toward Sharp. What? We already were talking to Sharp. Whatever. A cop ran up to him and whispered something in his ear. Understood. I'll be right there. Sharp motioned him to the side and turned back to me. I've got some business to attend to. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Sharp spun on his heel and walked off toward the crime lab. With a few moments to myself, I decided to try and organize my thoughts. What did I want to do? The only thing I can do, think. After the attack, I decided I needed to find out more about Mr. Holloway. He was probably involved in the smuggling. He probably found out about it, and Eva and him are trying to do something about it. First, we go on to Monty's pier and managed to uncover some important information about Holloway. We learned the name of his ship, the Las Carpos, and its nationality. What was the nationality of Holloway's? Well, I would like to think ships transcend borders, but I guess it was Baraka? Yeah, Baraka, Eva's country. What was the Las Carpos shipping route? It was from America to China. Yeah, we've been told it was going back and forth between the US and China. We also discovered that the ship had an unusual owner. Who owned the Las Carpos? The Barakan government. Yeah, the Republic of Baraka owned the Las Carpos. After that, I learned from the ship that there was a warrant out for Mr. Holloway's arrest. The warrant was for Mr. Holloway, illegal weapons. Yeah, they found a bunch of guns in his room. The police had found his guns, but Holloway himself was missing. A fugitive. Yeah, he disappeared from his room at the hotel, and neither I nor the police knew where he was. Well, that's because he was a fugitive. I turned out the day's events over and over in my mind, examining them from every angle. I was pretty sure I had all the facts straight. I just finished up when I saw a Sharp running toward me across the lobby. We've got trouble. This just came in. What? What's going on here? This guy looks like he should be played by Rip Torn. New incident. What's happened? Yeah, it's not good, Hunter. Well, what is it? A man was just found shot to death on Agri Pier. Reports indicate he was holding a gun with a missing barrel in his right hand. Ah, shit. Oh no, sir, do you think he might be Mr. Holloway? A man had been found shot dead to death on Agri Pier. I hope it might prove the guns in the hotel weren't Mr. Holloway's, but unfortunately, that didn't seem very likely. For all I knew, it was Holloway lying dead on that pier, in which case, it hardly mattered who the guns belonged to. Things were going to hell in a handbasket pretty damn quick. and I was starting to feel like I was just going. I was starting to feel like I was just going, just along for the ride. Jesus Christ, man, that face! It looks like he smelled a fart. Like, but anyway, is it Holloway lying dead on the street? Did Jake Hunter just smell a fart? We'll find out next time. I hope you guys are enjoying. If you are, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe because it makes me feel good. And make sure you have a good night. Good night.